Hello and welcome to the 186th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your low-energy, very hungry host, Chris, and joined by our other low-energy, very hungry host, Jordan.
That's me.
I'm fucked up today, man.
That's me, baby.
We just did a shoot for our After Dark account. No, I'm kidding. We just did a shoot for our Halloween special, and man, I've only had 0 real meals today, so I'm just having some grapes.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I got here at 5:05. It's 9:20 p.m. and we're filming this, so it's a solid 4 hours later. And we just got done rapping. So we have a pretty cool Halloween special.
It was we started and we're like, all right, we got an hour and a half of daylight left. Let's just bang this out.
Yeah.
And we are.
We resorted to filming in the pure darkness.
Yep.
We were right about the hour and a half daylight thing. Just not about the banging it out part.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So that took a while, but yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. We're just carving pumpkins. It just took longer than expected, so look out for that. Halloween, October 31st, be releasing.
Well, we just had a lot of pumpkins to carve.
Yeah, a whole lot of them. Check out that video. It'll be good. Promise.
It'll be out. Jordan.
Yeah.
You gotta remind the people.
Do I have to? Do I really?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Because if you don't, I'm gonna eat you.
I mean, at this point, that's an improvement. I'm just saying. So.
I'm just gonna.
So, as always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed, all linked below. YouTube and Spotify have the video platform. We can see our low energy selves. And as always, contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send your comments, questions, concerns, death threats, and most importantly, Little Kitty Bit City stuff, as well as your Halloween fun stuff. And Instagram, TikTok, we're there. Actually, you'll probably see some of the BTS footage from this shoot there, because I think some of it would correlate pretty well to a
You'll see some of our expert filmmaking.
Yeah. So, be on the lookout for that. I'll promise that one clip that I won't talk about here, but Chris knows what clip I'm talking about, that will make it after the Halloween video's out. Promise.
Promise.
That one's a promise. That's going to go up on the Instagram and the TikTok. So, there you go.
Jordan.
Yeah?
Have you been up to anything? Have you been doing anything?
I still just be getting railed by by my technical writing class. I'm just out there getting railed by assignments, dude. I'm so annoyed that back-to-back semesters I've taken fucking English-related classes, and I'm in an asynchronous online course, and they're just like, you know what fits that really well? Group fucking projects. Great idea. It makes me just want to punch someone.
I had a class. It's always the bullshit, non-required classes that have the most asinine group project, at least when you're in an engineering major. Yeah. I don't know how other majors are. I did computer science. Your mileage may vary. In computer science, I did exactly 0 group projects among all the projects I did. But in a lot of my elective stuff, I did a ton of group projects. And I had to do, in an asynchronous online class, it was a 10-page paper and a 20 or 30 slide, whatever, slideshow.
Oh, I remember that.
And I had to do that. And one of our guys did nothing. And I wrote a third of the essay. And then the other 2 guys wrote a third of the essay each. And then basically we each individually wrote a third of an essay and then just slammed it together. And then we took information from the essay and just slammed it onto slides. And that was our project.
Yeah.
We did all right. I think we got an 80. Yeah. So that's good enough for me. What other hellish group projects have I done? I don't know. I can't even think of any. That was the only really bad one I had. To be honest, I didn't do many group projects.
Yeah. This one's gonna be annoying. It's a big paper thing.
Yeah. Anytime I got a bit of my own hair in the grapes.
That's cool. It's actually one of my pubes.
That
I've been growing that for you, yeah.
That's impressive.
Shit's like 12 inches.
I haven't done a ton of egregious ones, but the ones I have done sucked ass.
Yeah, this next one's gonna suck ass because it's a big like field report paper, but it's also just like
field report.
Yeah, don't even get me started, dude.
That's
like,
above my fucking pay grade.
Just don't even get me started, man. Like, I met with the group like via email. I should say I corresponded with the group, and like I don't know. I was just like, hey, yeah, we should all meet next week. Like, maybe Tuesday, etc. I plan to read this stuff Monday. It's like 4 pages you gotta read, 4 to like 10 or something like that.
And meanwhile, you're paired with fucking what's that dickhead from? You're paired with fucking Lenny from of Mice and Men.
He's writing the whole paper about rabbits.
He's like, so could you read pages 39 to 46? And he's like, I'm looking at the rabbits, George.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, it's I messaged him like, yeah, we can meet next week, blah blah blah, maybe Tuesday. I'm gonna read the stuff Monday night, and the lady's like, can you maybe read it this weekend? I want to have the most time possible.
I'll kill you. That's
like,
what I would have said.
I said to her, I was like, sure, I can. But my point was, give me a meeting time first, because if the meeting time is not Monday, then I'm not reading it over the weekend. If the meeting time is Tuesday, then I'm reading it Monday. That's just how I roll. So sure enough, she like wasn't getting that, and she's like, to each their own, to each their own. I'm like, yes, bitch. Like, yes, to each their own. So finally, we get a meeting time. They want to do Monday. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, I'll read it. We still have one guy who's just fucking AWOL. We have 3 people in on it. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll meet Monday, and I'll read the fucking 4 pages. But like, I'm already like, I'm not gonna like this bitch.
That group project I was talking about a second ago, one of the guys didn't do anything. He actually, we did our portions of the group project, and we like pulled his dead weight. And this was because the way the professor did it was like, you got to do the draft, and then you got to do another draft, and then you got to submit it. Fuck you, buddy. Number one. But our first draft was like, with each draft, it was kind of like a checkpoint, and you would kind of rate the performance of your teammates, I guess, as well. And we all ratted on him immediately.
Oh, of course, fuck him.
Because fuck you, buddy. You know what? I don't remember your full name, but your name was Jack. That was your first name. Fuck you, specifically. Jack that I went to college with. I don't think we spoke face-to-face ever, but you did a group project with me once, and you ditched us and said, like 2 weeks after the first initial due date, you texted me and said, like, hey, is there anything I can do for the project? Fuck you! Fuck you, pal.
Are we gonna have the first YouTuber boxing match? You versus Jack.
You versus me versus this kid that I did not even meet physically.
You'll find out he's superimposed and he beats the fucking brakes
Find out
off
he's
you.
like 7 feet tall, and he's like 300 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
He just walks up and goes, "Dong!" and just cartoon punches me into the ground.
It's a genuine definition of ringing your bell. Just fucking lays you out. I'd pay to see it.
Will me get killed by some dude named Jack?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know. But, yeah, no, I've been getting railed by that. Best part, I meant to mention this. So I have this group project. It's not one, by the way. They're my group for the rest of the semester because we're going to have multiple projects. So I'm not happy about it at all in the slightest. I already hate this fucking class. Like, I'm so over this semester already. So luckily chemistry's been kind of fun, I guess, because it's science. So
Have you made any sort of chemical concoctions yet?
no, so because I was a physics kid in high school, I needed to take a high school level chem. So it's just a high school level chem. It's 090. So it's the high school equivalent. Maybe next semester when I take the fundamentals course, I will.
Oh, they put you in the stupid class.
Basically, they put me in you need credit for that sort of class. So yeah. Other than that, man, just living, playing game. Red Dead 1 is coming to PC.
Red Dead 1 is coming to PC That's what, 14 years after original release?
Yeah, October 29th, 2024 is the release date. So
you know what? Red Dead 1 with Undead Nightmare on PC. It's $50. They got me. I don't know what to tell you. They got me.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I paid $50 for worse.
I've paid. Listen, let's put it this way. I spent $60 on the Mass Effect Legendary Trilogy or whatever the fuck it was,
God.
and
We both did.
I didn't play it.
Me neither.
I still have it, and I never played it. So,
This you'll play.
yeah.
This is I'm excited to see how it runs on Steam Deck and the Ally.
I just want something that runs better than the fucking 360.
Yeah.
Like, I replayed it on 360, and I was going to play Undead Nightmare 2, and I was like, judging by how poorly this performed in the regular game, Undead Nightmare is going to be just a slog to get through. If I could play it on PC, plus I don't have to boot up a stinky old console, like, it's not a problem if it's on, like, fucking PS5. I can hit a button and I'm looking at, like, modern graphics and a very powerful machine, and I can just plug a little cable into the bottom of my controller and have headphones, and the whole thing has all the conveniences of a modern console. But, like, on the 360, I have to dig the fucking thing out. I gotta plug it in. I gotta attach it to my thing, my monitor. And then I gotta plug the thing into my monitor so I have headphones so that I can hear the game. And then I gotta play on the shittiest performance of anything I've ever played. And it doesn't even look good.
You know what else you're forgetting too? It also takes 14 years to load.
Oh, that too. Yeah. You hit the play button, and then
You play tomorrow.
you hit the play button, and then you go to invent a time machine to actually go back in time to 1911 and meet John Marston in person. And then you can come back to the future, and then your game might be loaded.
Yeah, it's basically like a futuristic VR. You gotta go way back in time.
And don't ask me why you wouldn't use the time machine to jump forward in time to the point at which your game is loaded.
Seems illogical.
That would make too much sense.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I played it on PS3, which is arguably worse, apparently, the performance, I guess.
Is it?
Yeah, because the PS3, while it was more of a raw powerhouse of performance compared to the 360, it wasn't as well optimized because it was such a niche sort of hardware set that developers didn't fully understand unless they were like the Naughty Dogs of first party.
Right.
So most ports of regular multi-platform games ran the worst on PS3, even though I had the most power, technically speaking. So Red Dead 1 on there was rough. Like, pretty rough. And specifically, I think this happened to you said when you played the 360 version. Anytime there was Molotovs involved,
Oh my god.
the game basically turned into a slideshow.
You would throw a Molotov, and you would get a frame every now and then.
It's crazy though, because like then I think back, I'm like, bro, when this game came out in 2010, and I myself was like 9, I was like, this shit's perfect. It would be beautiful. I love it.
Oh, it's What Are We So Cool? I'm a cowboy. What are we?
I we can't be fun with that. What do we have, Deadeye?
What do we have, Deadeye? And I'm what are we a freaking cowboy? what are we gonna kill you with a gun? What are we?
What do we? I want to get in Bonnie McFarlane's pants. Like, what do we? that was always the catch in that game, dude. Bonnie, I was like, damn, give me her in 4K, honestly. This fucking beefy Southerner chick, gonna beat my ass.
Damn.
My favorite part of the game is when I get shot and I get to live with her. That's my favorite part. Then there's the part where her daddy turns into a zombie and I fucking killed him. That was cool.
Well, sucks to suck.
She said, "Oh, daddy," and I blew his head off with a goddamn sawed off. I love Undead Nightmare. But no, Red Dead 1, fucking fantastic. Play it. People are up in arms about the $50 and it's a 10-year-old game. And I'm like, yeah, but like, don't buy it then.
Listen, I'm just saying is that if you had a child that was born when this game was released, they would be starting high school.
Yeah.
So I understand the frustration that this game is 14 years old and it's whatever, right? Like I said, they fucking got me.
Oh yeah, they got me. Yeah, unfortunately,
They got me. They got me right by the sack, and they're doing this.
No,
They're
from the top, dude.
Yeah, they got it from the top, and they got it cinched, kind of like this, and they're pulling it right down. They got me by the sack, man.
Bro. Yeah, pretty much. It's unfortunate, but like I say that as someone who, if they did the same treatment with L.A. Noire, where they were like, "Hey, it's the same game,
it's a direct port,
but it like runs good."
Listen,
I'd be like, "All right."
You're talking to the guy who bought God of War both 2018 and Ragnarok twice. Okay, I bought it for full price both times, twice on PS4 and PS5, and fucking PC. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not as bad. I've only bought Days Gone and...
No, actually, I never had Days Gone for the console. I had it for PC.
I only bought Days Gone and 2018 and Spider-Man and Miles Morales, so I have those. You also bought those, didn't you? Oh, you didn't buy them for PS4, though.
No. I don't have Spider-Man 2018. I have it for the PS4. But I didn't buy it for PC.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Sony's got me by the satchel, too.
They got me, man.
Yeah, I might try to platinum Red Dead 1. Well, I say platinum. I might try to get all the achievements when it comes to PC. However, like Red Dead 2, it has a lot of gambler challenges that I'm like,
In Red Dead 2, the gambler challenges were kind of easy to game.
Yeah, you have to just metagame. There's like one way to do it.
Yeah, so like there's one that I had to do that was like I think it was like win 10 hands of poker in a row. And I was like, this is going to suck dick. But you just go all in every time and you win every time.
Oh.
So you just play 10 hands of poker.
I thought you were just going to say you save after each hand that you win. Like you win one, save, lose one, reload.
Nope, you just go all in every time and everyone folds and you win.
They're like, damn it, how is this guy keep doing that?
The one that I had trouble with was you had to beat, I think, 5 different opponents at 5-finger fillet. And every time you move on from the previous opponent, that it gets harder. So like by the time you're at the end, you're like hitting keys on your keyboard at like fucking light speed.
Hitting keys you didn't even know existed.
I had to sit. I would sit there. I would take a deep breath, and I would have like one eyeball on the screen to look at the keys, and then one eyeball on my keyboard, and I would telegraph where my fingers would go. And I just had to sit there, take a deep breath, and lock in, and just and it would go.
I feel like because of the way 5-finger fillet works in that, where all the keys are like always the same for each sequence, I would have just set up a fucking macro.
See, but they do kind of randomize. So sometimes it's like
at the higher levels they do.
At first it's like AD, 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 and then it's like ADA WSAD WSAD.
But if you were to pause the game, doesn't it keep doing the same one like for that match? Like if you fuck up the first round, you'll know what
it does.
So I would probably just do some stupid shit like that.
Pause the game, make a new macro, and then
yeah, fucking telegraph the whole thing, and then Micah's like, "I got you now, Black Lung," and then you just hit macro too, and Arthur just goes. Arthur's just fucking.
Arthur just goes. Boom. Like you don't even see him move. He goes.
Micah
"Want to see me do it again?"
Micah goes, "Well, I'll be damned," and his head just falls apart. Like
he shuts off. Yeah. He's like, "Well, I'll be damned."
His texture gets deleted out of the game folder.
he gets erased from the game, and then you just hear you hear American Venom, and then the credits roll.
Yep.
He gets deleted, raptured right then and there, and he goes dun 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 dun.
That was a really good recreation of that. Oh, it's funny. Actually, speaking of those bozos, I'm going to Comicon soon, and I'm getting an autograph from Dutch, Arthur, Sadie, and John. I'm paying way too much money for these autographs, but
Can you have what's the voice actor's name? Benjamin Byron Davis for Dutch. Can you have him say, "Are you gay, son? Are you gay for me?"
I don't think he's gonna appreciate that. He's very anti fucking with his characters.
Aw.
So. That's funny. I mean, maybe he'd be okay. Their big thing is AI. I know him and Roger Clark fucking hate AI.
That's fair.
So, that's just a guy doing it, isn't it? That video you showed me?
Yeah. You mean the guy doing the shittiest Dutch impression?
I don't remember how it sounds. I know how. You know what's crazy? I remember your version of it better than I do the video.
If it was like really Dutch, it wouldn't be as funny.
Yeah.
Because the way the guy does it, he goes, "Are you gay, son? Are you gay for me?" So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, look up. It's on TikTok, and I think there's a version on YouTube. Look up. Look up. Red Dead 2. No, I ain't gay. And it was a video I could not stop thinking about for a long time.
It's been like 6 months, and we still bring it up. So
yeah.
So. But yeah, I'm gonna try and do that. Shit's $50 a signature though. I'm gonna try and see if they can,
signature.
I'm gonna see if they can sign my steelbook though. That's what I'm aiming for. My Red Dead 2 steelbook.
I would have been like, listen, could I get like a deal if I get everyone's signature?
Well, a lot of groups do that. They're not like there's a fucking Twilight is going. They have like a Twilight group. You pay like $300. You get like 10 different people or whatever. I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm gonna dead eye quit draw on.
I also don't exactly know how I feel about charging for an autograph.
I get it, I guess. How do you feel about charging for like a photo?
Even that's like if you're in public and you're not at like an event, if you're in public as a famous person and one of your fans comes up to you and says, "Hey, can I get a picture?" You're not gonna charge them for that picture. If you're in an event, you're going to charge them for a picture?
That's interesting. Never really thought of it that way.
Like, it doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, I never thought about that way. I will say...
That being said, if I had the steelbook for Red Dead, I would absolutely pay for all of them to sign it.
Yeah, so that's what I think I'm going to do. But yeah, that's interesting you put it that way. I didn't think of it that way with paying for the photos. I do think the difference here, specifically going from autographs to photos, is I think they do it with a professional photographer, not just like, oh, let me stand next to you while you take a phone picture. So I think when you pay $50 for the photo op, it's actually a photographer who like prints it right there and gives you a PDF. That's where it'd be worth it.
Then you're paying for more of the photographer's services than the picture with the guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that kind of makes sense. You know what that got me thinking of? You know how when you're at a theme park or an amusement park and they take a picture of you going down the roller coaster and then it's like $50 for that picture?
Yeah.
That shit's ridiculous, man.
That shit is kind of wild, especially because it's always the shittiest picture, too.
It's the lowest quality. It's just a picture of you going...
Yeah, it's a picture of you not even looking at the camera because you're too busy shitting your pants. The shutter speed was way too low, so it's just like big smear half the time.
I have one of me on when my dad and we went to Hershey Park. We went on the Fahrenheit roller coaster.
Oh Jesus!
It's the one that goes straight up and then straight down.
It's the highest degree drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 97 degrees or some shit.
I have one of me on that, and it's again the shittiest quality picture imaginable of me just going.
Chris just shitting himself straight going. That was your soul leaving.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I didn't know your dad was cool like that. Though roller coasters, I'm a bitch when it comes to rides.
See, I was.
You barely get me going on a fucking flume. I'm like,
See, I was, and then what had happened was...
So what had happened?
What had happened was, in eighth grade, as a class, we went to Washington, D.C.
It was actually a sad story.
And when on our way back, we went to Hershey Park, and I bitched out on all the roller coasters. And then I felt bad, because I was like, I'm a fucking bitch. I bitched out on all the roller coasters. I didn't go on any of them with my friends. And then we went back that summer, my dad and I. He was like, are you sure you want to go back? We can go somewhere else. I'm like, no, I want to go back. It's personal this time. And I wrote all of them.
Yeah.
And then in more recent times, I've just been too physically large for them.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens in the future.
Perhaps we get that shin reduction we talked about.
We should get. I just have to get that. Stomach and general body fat reduction surgery.
I think we have a shop vac somewhere. I mean, I can probably help you with that. Small incision.
Get out the Dyson.
It's minimally invasive as I'm just sucking out.
Minimally invasive. It's just we cut in a little slit and you have a straw. Like.
It's like siphoning gas. I get the flow started. I'm like, all right, get the bucket. And it's just lard filling this bucket. I don't know how I feel about this audio existing on the internet. Me siphoning the lard out of my friend. That's wild.
Someone's got to do it.
That's wild. Man, watch this Halloween video. I'm fighting for my life here.
Listen, I got the grapes in me. It was like a health pack.
It was like a stim.
It was like I just got myself with a stim pack.
Fucking Christ. I'm going to need to do one of the Far Cry healing animations in a minute where I'm just going to dislocate my fucking arm. Like, all right, I'm good. It's like one of those things where, like, in Far Cry, right, he's so sleepy, and the healing animation for being sleepy is, of course, snapping his knee back into place. Because those two go together.
Sleepy, I got to remove one of my joints.
Yeah, basically. But, yeah, aside from that, I started the casting of Frank Stone. Have you heard of that game at all?
No.
So it's made by the developer Supermassive, who made Until Dawn. Just if you've seen Until Dawn, which you have, right? I think you said you've played it or watched it or something. It is basically that game, but it's a Dead by Daylight universe.
Interesting.
So it's about, believe it or not, the casting of Frank Stone. Frank Stone being some sort of being in the DBD universe. I've never really played it beyond the first 2 months it came out.
I played a lot of Dead by Daylight. I have zero idea of the lore.
Yeah, I hear the lore is fucking nuts. So this game is basically that. But
nor do I really care, to be honest.
Fair. But the game's cool so far. The only problem is it's Unreal Engine 5, meaning there's just this thing that happens where if you're using a Z1 Extreme APU, which is what most of the handhelds besides Steam Deck use, it just doesn't have shadows in the global illumination processing of it. So every game you play just doesn't have shadows for major parts of it.
So it looks like a fucking it looks like Half-Life.
Yeah, basically. So I tried Silent Hill 2, which suffers from that, and I was like, nah, this defeats the horror part of it. So what you can do is, because global illumination is one lighting technique and ray tracing is another, you can turn on ray tracing and it will work. The lighting will work. Now the problem is, obviously, you take a performance hit, and in some games that's fine. In others, it's not. So with casting Frank Stone, luckily, didn't know it was Unreal Engine 5 till I bought it, and it looked like fucking heaven. So I was able to use ray tracing, and it actually runs okay.
Huh.
Silent Hill 2, however, did not run well at all with ray tracing. So, yeah. Sucks. I really want AMD to fucking fix it, but the problem is you have AMD, Epic, and Asus just fucking pointing the finger at each other like, no, it's his problem. AMD's saying, well, Asus makes custom driver versions of our own, so we don't make them, Asus does. And Asus is saying, well, yeah, but AMD's fucking baseline driver is the broken thing that's incompatible. And both of them are saying, well, Unreal should make their engine better for our drivers. And Unreal's just going, I make games sometimes.
What if, I don't know, what if AMD just locked in?
I'm just saying, if they just stop sucking that fat chode that they're dealing with, they suck lately. They were on the up and up, dude. I was preparing right? I was mentally preparing for the PC market dynamic to shift. They were like getting to the point where I was like, they're gonna fucking overcome NVIDIA. They're gonna shit on Intel. They got this, and then they have just floundered. They're like that video of the guy. It's like the boomer humor meme where it's like a fat businessman walking a worker on a leash, and the worker's like picking up pennies the guy's dropping. That's AMD to NVIDIA right now, dude. They're like, we're going to just copy NVIDIA and make a card that is 10% less performance. We're never going to try to make the high-end card because we're afraid that theirs will be better. And then they're trying all the AI stuff, and it's just not working well.
Well, see, because, I think AMD is a markedly smaller company than NVIDIA. So I think they put a lot of their eggs into the CPU market, which they're still doing pretty well in.
I mean, they're still better than Intel.
I was like, I'm throwing back the idea because, like, I'm throwing it back. I'm throwing back and forth the idea of, like, what am I going to do for my next PC? Because I'm going to build one soon. Like I said, when the 50 series comes out, I'm going to try to snag one, like, right at the beginning, and then build a new PC. And I was thinking about, like, should I do an AMD CPU or NVIDIA CPU or whatever? Intel CPU or whatever. And the new Intel CPUs, the newest generation, have some kind of faults with, like, their
temperatures and shit.
Oh, I've read that there's some kind of fault in, like, the actual microcode, like the firmware that's on the chip.
Oh, yes.
That leads to, like, some kind of massive amount of vulnerability. And speaking as a cybersecurity professional, having a person get that low of a level of access to your system is very, very, very hard to undo. Very hard to undo and very hard to find.
Yeah.
So, I'm probably not going to do that.
Yeah. I think I could be talking out of my entire asshole right now when I say this, but I also... The whole thing, like, fully agape. I could be talking out of it right now. I swear that same micro issue also causes it to go like, we're getting hot. Fuck it. And then just blow up. Like, it just burns out. I'm like 75% sure that's the case because people were talking about all these custom water cooling solutions they had to do because it was just like suiciding itself, basically.
Uh-huh.
Intel, you're doing good.
Yeah, I just feel like that PC hardware has been too reliable for too long. That, like, some of this stuff had to be shitting the bed soon, right?
Yeah, fair.
And this is that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally okay with buying, like, $800 processor and just having it go, I'm going to turn myself into, like a toaster strudel right now. You know, let the magic smoke out and all that.
I think at a certain point, companies started building hardware for, like, Linus Tech Tips. And then no one else.
Yeah, fair.
Where they're like, this has the fucking 69 gigashards per mega ass, and it costs $9,000, and we put 17 of them in a PC.
It's got 14 femtocoms.
That's great.
Yeah.
But
what about this guy?
What about someone like me who's actually, like, wants to buy stuff?
Yeah.
That's affordable.
And also not trash.
And also not garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I said this to Bud Light Boy yesterday or the day before at work. I was like, I love the Steam Deck and I love PC gaming at its core. And I also love, like, things like the ROG Ally. But I hate to say it, if Sony just came out with this handheld that was like, hey, all this is going to do is it's a pocket PS5, perhaps a PlayStation Portable. And basically what it does is it plays all of the PlayStation 5 games, but in, like, the performance preset, which means lower res, lower graphics, and, like, 60. I would jump ship faster than the ship was ever even created, dude. I would be fucking gone. Because there's just something. I hate to say it. I hate to sound like an old man. But after all this tinkering with the modern day handhelds like the Steam Deck and the Portal, the Ally, there's something kind of nice that without fail, when on rare occasion I turn on my PlayStation and I click on a game, I'm just fucking there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never like, oh, god damn it, I'm getting like 10 frames less than normal. I must have a driver update or this or that or fucking all this dumb shit. It's just like, nah, I go boop, the game go bloop, I go bling, and it just plays. You know what I'm saying? A couple of boop, bops, and blings.
So my problem is that with something like that is you're limited entirely to PlayStation's library.
Well, that's the biggest problem.
I have so much stuff on PC that doesn't exist on console.
Yeah.
And I have so much stuff on PC already that it wouldn't justify me getting something like that.
Yeah. The problem is that, like, going forward, any modern game is just made for consoles. Like, we went through these phases in PC gaming, I feel like, where, like, 2012 to 2016 was console-centric. Like, with ports like Arkham Knight, which were literally outsourced for PC only and were garbage.
Yeah.
And then we kind of hit the up and up, like, right around pre-COVID, like 2018 to 21. We hit this, like, peak where games started coming out and being like, okay, yeah, these PC ports are, like, halfway decent. The games themselves are decent. And then, like, after COVID, like, when the effect of it started to kick in, it's just like every game that's come out has not only been dog shit on PC, but has been also kind of shitty on console. So.
I think that just speaks to just games being made shittier.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just terrible.
Yeah, I agree. We're definitely seeing the hard effects of enshittification on everything. It's like PC hardware's getting bad. PC software's getting bad. Console hardware's getting bad. Console software's getting bad. Phones are getting bad. Everything fucking sucks now.
Yeah. Remember that time in 2020 when the PS5 came out that, like, you bought this thing and it was in a white box and the white box said 4K 120, 8K 60, and then you can't even get games that run at 1080p 60? Like, I shit you not. The PS5 Pro, right? This $800 behemoth of a machine, and it's amazing 4K 60 performance. You realize that, I think it was Digital Foundry or someone, did an analysis that Alan Wake 2 runs at 4K 60, and that 4K resolution, by the way, is, don't quote me on this because I'm probably off by a factor of like 10 here, but it's like 1820 by 980. Like, it's some random fucked up aspect ratio, weird ass resolution, sub 1080p that is upscaled to 4K 60. Like, and that's supposed to be the absolute grandiose best of the best console you can buy, you know?
Yeah, I think we're still in, a part of it too is we're still in the kind of cycle of games getting bigger and better faster than hardware can support. And I think game companies, especially like large studios, are pushed to be like, we need to do more. It needs to look like this, and it needs to have this, and it needs to have 30,000 collectibles, and it needs to have ultra-realistic 4K graphics.
All the cunt hairs.
If I can tell that this is a video game and not a real person, you're fired. I'm killing all of you and blowing up the company.
Yeah.
We have shit like that, and they're like, sure, the hardware, it doesn't support it. We put the disc in the PS5 and it blew up. I don't know what to tell you. It's not going to run. And then the guy sets out a comically, like, a fucking cartoon TNT detonator and blows up that guy.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, that sounds about right.
It's, I think that's part of it, too. And games now, people talk about how shitty games are now, like when they first come out. They're doing so much more shit.
Yeah.
And speaking as a professional who makes software, when you do more shit in the software, it's more shit to fix and more shit that you have to make work together.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's an excuse for such a large company to release such shit, but you have to understand they're trying to do more with less time. Or the same amount of time.
Yeah, I think the problem just comes down to, like, the asking price. Like, if games were as good as some of the greats like Red Dead 2, like if every game that I spent $70 on could even bring me up to 2/3 of the feeling that Red Dead 2 at launch felt like,
Yeah.
I would pay $100 for those games. The problem is it's going the opposite way, where like Red Dead 2 is still the peak open world game by a mile. Like that's kind of the problem. So like it's 100% the case that like the next good open world game that like really shakes things up is probably GTA 6.
Probably. Because every fucking game's open world now. And you have like Ubisoft who shits out 30 games a year. If you take your time on one, it might come out a bit better.
Or they could make 5 games that sell like 1,000 copies each, or they could make one, take triple the time, and sell like 2 million copies. It's clearly the first option's better.
Yeah. And that's... And this whole, like, trying to push out more and more games is, like, how we get things like fucking Concord.
Yeah. Yep. That's trying to push out games and also monetize everything.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like... You know what? You know who deserves the blame? Fuck Fortnite. Like, honestly. I feel like Fortnite has set such a heavy precedent for anything that has internet connection. Like, oh, you're playing Call of Duty, but you want to play the campaign? Microtransactions. You're playing this game? Battle Pass. Like, it don't fucking matter. I feel like Fortnite has set that.
I agree, but I give Fortnite... I'm lenient on Fortnite here because Fortnite is free.
Yeah.
Fortnite costs $0 to play. People still don't, you can still jump into the game for $0. But if I'm paying $70 for a video game, which is already asinine and I don't do very often, I don't want to have to buy a $10 battle pass every month. And it's not really an issue for me to speak on because I don't really play games that have a battle pass.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not the most qualified to speak on it. I do care about the issue, but just not very fervently. It's like, not my fucking problem. I don't know. Yeah. You can play those games. That's on you. And then you can complain about it louder than I can because you're actually dealing with it.
Yeah, it's actually a problem affecting the person. Yeah, it's why I just like, I don't know, I tend to find myself going back to like old games. Like I restarted a Red Dead 2 playthrough the other day just to like feel it out. It's like, yeah, I'm just chilling, playing it on the Ally.
Yeah, see, I'm just, I'm surfing from like chill game to chill game,
Bro's riding the chill wave.
I started a new game recently. I discovered this game a while ago, like before it came out. The developers were fairly active on TikTok, and they would post clips of it. It's a game called Startrucker, and it's about space logistics, basically. You are a guy who works in a spaceship that's shaped like an American, 18-wheeler.
Huh.
And you hook up to trailers, and you drag them through space, and you deliver them, and you make deliveries. And there's so many fun little touches in that game. I played that on last weekend, and that shit is fun as hell. So I've been surfing from truck game to truck game at the moment.
So that's the most Chris ass game I've ever seen.
Oh man, it's so to give you a little more context. In the truck, the space truck, it's shaped like an American 18-wheeler, but it's obviously a lot bigger. You're in the cab of it, and at the back of it, there's a breaker panel. And you can, depending on how you're rationing, you can ration power by turning off various systems in the truck. You have to replace fuel cells or battery cells for the various systems in the truck. You have to replace computer components that are on the systems. There's a CB radio that when you're sitting in the chair, you can just grab and talk on the CB radio. There's a radio with a custom station that plays, I believe, all custom made like songs for the game, with advertisements for stuff in the game, and it's all like very like Western Route 66 style, like
That's fucking awesome.
country rock sort of music, and it's there's so many, like I said, there's so many cool little touches in that game. Even if you look down when you're in the chair, in your cockpit seat, you can look down, open the glove box, and you can, and pull out an owner's manual, and it's like all the tutorials for the game. You can do like various maintenance. So if like you hit something, you can go out of the ship, and then you have to repair it and go back in. And basically you're delivering little things through space. It's pretty neat.
That does sound pretty cool. I like how it takes kind of the SnowRunner-esque formula, but like really shakes it up. Gives it something different to not be like it's another truck game.
It's in space, and it's like so uniquely like American in the way that it does things.
In the presentation.
And it's just a fun look at like a future society where like we're still using the same style of trucks to move things through space.
Couldn't find any more efficient shapes.
Yeah, like there's probably a better way to do this, right? So that's fun. If you like I said, I haven't run into this too much yet, but you can like turn off various systems in the truck, and when you swap like power cells on things, they obviously don't work at the time. So like my gravity power cell was low, so I had to run back, and you like flip open the panel for it, and I pulled the cell and everything started floating.
That's funny. That's cool.
And I put the new cell in and it all fell back down.
Yeah, that's cool. Do fucking Amazon deliveries in space.
It's kind of like that. I know you can do like long distance stuff, which I think that would be a lot of fun. It's like, to put it this way, it's a lot like American Truck Simulator, but without all the extra stuff that makes American Truck Simulator fucking annoying to play. I like American Truck Simulator conceptually. I just wish I could plug in a controller and just go. American Truck Simulator has about 15,000 controls that you have to configure. And I have to sit there like an asshole for 25 minutes trying to figure out how I'm going to control my truck with my controller.
Yeah, it's easier to drive one of those trucks for real.
And like, I could, you know what, for less effort, I could go out today and buy a fucking Peterbilt and drive that for a while.
Yeah.
You know, it's, I wish that game had less suck in it. It was less simulator and more game. I don't really care to sit there and shift my gears. I don't really, well, I mean, I care about that a little bit. I guess it's somewhat interesting. But, like, I don't really care to enable my fucking wiper blades or look out the fucking window so I can see my mirror properly or whatever. I just want to go to a place, pick up a trailer, and drive it to another place across the United States, because the United States is a beautiful country. There's a lot of interesting to look at stuff here.
Yeah.
Because you go through like every biome that exists.
Yeah. That game has really good environments, I will say.
It really does. And you can just buy a state and it has the state. It's just there.
Yeah.
And I would love to play that game more. But it's just, if anyone has a workaround for this, other than just calling me an idiot, let me know. Because I don't know if there's like an arcade mode that you can pop it into. Put it in an arcade mode. I just want to be able to plug a fucking controller into it and make it work.
Hit the trigger drive, hit the other trigger brake.
Yes, like how SnowRunner does it. SnowRunner is like, it's simulator-ish on the off-road stuff, but in all other aspects, it's very arcadey.
Yeah.
And the only thing that like kind of sucks is the winching system.
The winching system's rough, especially on controller.
So like, what I normally do is I go and trigger the winch, and then I use my mouse to like
hit the highlight or whatever. Yeah.
And that's
fair.
if like. A lot of times I'm using quick winch, which is just you hit Y and it just sends a winch to the closest point.
Yeah, which is usually enough unless you're like really fucked. But yeah, I agree. American Truck Simulator, I used to like playing that game like a good bit, but yeah, that's the only thing is like I don't know. There's so many menus too, just to like get into the game.
There are so many fucking menus. It's like I'm playing Starfield.
Yeah, like I just want to open the game, hit go and go. Like I don't want to do all this extra bull, you know. Like you just set up like a trucker profile, get licensed, and like a bunch of other shit. That I'm just like, no, like you said, I want like an arcade mode. Like give me career mode where I'm a fucking trucker and I do everything and like whatever. Then just give me arcade mode where I just go and I appear in a random truck and I just go.
Yeah, like I could get that feeling out of SnowRunner, but I want to drive on like nice, clean, paved roads.
With some traffic.
Cross highways, with traffic, and this and that and the third, right? I sometimes, if there is a game that is American Truck Simulator, but it is SnowRunner-like in a sense that it's just that, like I said, I just drop in and play, I'd buy it.
$70.
I'd pay $40 for it.
No, 70? Why not? Even if I gave you everything your heart desired?
Well, SnowRunner's $30.
I knew it was 30?
Knew it was 30. I think you can get all the DLCs and the game for for 60 now.
Okay. All right, fair enough. In its ecosystem, then it should probably not be 70.
You know, and the space trucker, Startrucker, is 25. And it's on Game Pass, so I just installed it on Game Pass.
Oh, is it? Interesting.
Which I didn't expect it to be on Game Pass, but I looked it up anyway because I've gotten into the habit now of doing that because I've gotten burned a few times. In a sense that I bought a game, I look for like a deal on a game, so I buy it from like a third-party vendor, so I can't like refund it or whatever. And then I go, oh, it's on fucking Game Pass. It was on Game Pass the whole time.
Yeah. I almost did that with something the other day. I was like, oh, I kind of want to buy that. And I was like, wait a minute. I have Game Pass now. Let me check it. And it was there. I was like, oh, my God.
I was going to buy Gay Porn Simulator, but it's on Game Pass.
Oh, you have Game Pass as well? Yeah. I didn't know you had both.
Game Pass in the ecosystem of games getting shitty, games and services getting shittier and shittier. Game Pass is fairly reliable.
Yeah.
They have games there all the time, new ones, old ones. They hardly get rid of stuff too, and you can just download them and play them. And it's still I think for PC only. If you want PC and console, I think it's $15, but for PC only, it's $10.
Yeah, if you do Ultimate, which is everything, it's $20. So, I will say, one hidden drawback of Game Pass that doesn't really apply to you so much because you don't have like you have, but you don't play like a Steam Deck or a GLA, is no matter the game, at least in my experience, no matter the game, you need to be always online to play it. So like where you could buy something like say Ghostwire Tokyo and play it on Steam offline mode. For Game Pass, whenever I'd play it at work on lunch, I had to always connect to my hotspot. Otherwise, Game Pass would be like, you need internet for that.
Actually.
And like I get it, it's a subscription. They're probably afraid, oh, you're gonna download Ghostwire Tokyo, disconnect from the internet, and play for the next fucking 30 days and have no subscription. Blah blah blah. I get it, but also you could do periodic check-ins.
I can excuse it here. I can excuse it here because of exactly that.
Yeah.
I don't think that a game company needs to constantly be making fucking piracy checks on a game that they know for a fact I purchased.
Yeah.
Like
check it once and you're done.
Check it once. Oh, you're good. Like, yeah, I bought the game. I'm not gonna unbuy the game just so I can pirate it.
Yeah.
And also, if I had it pirated, it's not online. I've definitely never pirated a game before, but allegedly, so I've heard, when you do, the online capabilities are removed from them.
Oh, so you're saying like they don't even check for it because they can't.
Because they can't check for it because it's removed as part of the crack, allegedly. So I've heard.
That's what I've heard too, yeah.
But I can excuse it on Game Pass, like, if you have to do piracy checks, because, like, it is even more so than normally you're buying a license to use that software rather than the software itself. And even when you buy a game on Steam, you're not buying a game, you're buying a license to play that game. I don't know if you know that, but
They just updated that, actually.
really,
It says it now when you check out. It's a new law required in California. Kind of like the Prop 65 thing.
that's probably good, because you're not actually, because a lot of people think, oh, I own this game. No, you fucking don't. You own a license your name is in a ledger somewhere that says, Jordan can play this game. Jordan can play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
If Rockstar suddenly gets bought out by... if Elon Musk buys Rockstar...
And eradicates Red Dead 2.
And goes, I don't like Red Dead 2. It doesn't run on my Tesla Cybertruck. Revoke everyone's subscription to it. He could do that if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And there's nothing stopping Rockstar from doing that either. Like, legally speaking. There's literally nothing you can do if they decide to do that. Same thing if you purchase digital content on, like, Amazon. You buy, like, an episode of a TV show. This happened to me with YouTube. I bought an episode of a TV show. It might have even been free. It was something I was trying to get for a video, so it's not that important anyway. But I bought a thing on YouTube, and it deleted it from my account. Because they were like, we don't offer this anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, it goes for anything. Basically anything online.
But even with the Game Pass, you're even more so understanding that you're buying a temporary license to use this.
Yeah.
And that license does expire whenever Microsoft says it does, even more so than if you purchase the game.
Yeah. That's why I'm a big team physical. Like I've said it before, I would be the asshole that if my platform of choice, the handheld market or whatever, had like PSP UMDs for games, I would buy all my games physical.
Yeah,
I would buy every single
agree.
game physical. The only reason I don't is because it's more of a pain in the ass now.
If I buy games for console, I buy them physically, because I don't get a chance to buy physical games very much to begin with. But so whenever I have the chance, I want to buy them, and I like having physical games because games as well. This hasn't faded at all through the years. Video game cases, when you first get them out of the plastic, you crack them open, they smell so good.
They do. That is like straight fentanyl to the brain, dude.
I go...
Start fent folding. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I love the scent of
I love the smell
Not to mention,
of a
I don't know if,
game case.
I don't know if you get the same thing, but tell me not. There's something. This might just be like something showing, but you get the game. It's wrapped in that clear plastic, the cellophane, and on the spine, it is so smooth. You can like rub your hand down it, and that shit is like butter, dude. Oh man, I'd be fondling the fuck out of these cases.
I've ever fondled my game.
Dude,
I'd definitely give him a little sniff though.
You run like your nail across it, not like hard, obviously, like gently.
You
just gently kind of. It's almost like you're picking.
I give it to the cat so you can.
Dude, Chunk would probably have a great time. He'd be like, "Oh my god."
Here we go. Oh my god. He would speak for the first time. He would speak.
Yeah.
English words. Oh my god.
Proper sentence structure and all, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I fucking physical games, so good. Honestly, that's been like the best part about collecting, and I haven't done it in months, but like when I was buying a bunch of shit on eBay, it was like I felt like that little kid in the shop feeling again. Like you open up the package, there's a case there, and even though it's an older game or whatever, and it was used, it was still just like, oh my god.
Physical games are something else, and I wish there. Maybe I don't. I wish there were more physical PC games, but like. I remember what a fucking nightmare that shit was. Because you were dealing with so many different activation centers that existed. Because each company was like, okay, we're releasing this game physically on PC. You need to activate it with our service. So you have to like make a dumbass account and punch in like a product code and then install it from like a disk that you got. And no one has a fucking disk drive anymore on their PC. So, you know, there's that as well.
Yeah.
But having one central activation center, or I guess like two, like you're using Steam and Epic, and that's about it. Like maybe you get something on fucking Good Old Games or whatever, but like realistically, who's like, oh, I'm gonna buy this on, who's even going, oh, I gotta buy this on Epic? I'm only buying shit on Epic if I have to.
Yeah.
Like the only reason I own SnowRunner on Epic is because it wasn't available on Steam until like a year after it was released.
Yeah.
So, you know, but having one central activation center is great. But the downside is like there's zero physical PC games anymore.
Yeah, it's very rare. And a lot of times if you do get one that is physical, like you pre-order a physical game, you get a case with like a Steam code in it. You don't get the actual CD. So, or CDs, I should say.
Getting everything on CDs, which incredibly impractical. I don't know what technology the like PS5 discs uses. Oh, Blu-ray, right?
Should just be Blu-ray, yeah.
Because I was just saying, I'm picturing it on like proper DVDs where they're like 4.7 gigs each.
Yeah, so for like a normal game, you need 20.
Red Dead 2, it's like a book of them.
Yeah. You install one texture at a time.
You're like, insert disc 1 of 97.
Yeah. This texture that you're installing, this is half of John's hat.
It would be like when programs started to get a lot bigger than floppy disks allowed. So you would have to put in like disk 1 of 13 or something, and it would have to read like 6 megabytes or whatever off the disk, and then
cache that shit.
And then you gotta go and fucking put in the other one, and then put in the other one. I think like I remember reading that one of the original releases of Word was like 20 or 30 floppy disks or something like that.
That's ridiculous.
Which is insane, but that's what I'm picturing of like, oh, this CD has all the horse nut texture on it.
Can I keep that one, please?
This CD, if you don't install this CD, you don't have to. It's optional, but the horse nuts don't move according to the temperature.
Yeah. Alright, that's all I got. I'm gassed for today.
I gotta go to bed.
It's 10:30. I'm fucking gassed, man. That it? Yeah, you're done?
Yeah.
All right, so as always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed all linked below. YouTube and Spotify have the video platform. Instagram, TikTok, reach out to us there. You'll also see that Halloween thing I talked about. I don't remember what it was, but it'll be there. And
I don't remember what it was.
And Synapse Misfire at pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, death threats. I'll remember when I edit this back. Like, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, it was the shot, the BTS shot. That doesn't sound right. Someone who doesn't know anything about productions is just going to hear me say that you and I had a BTS shot, and that's not going to look good.
We had back shots.
Back on back on back. It means behind the scenes. Get your head out of the gutter, you freaking doo-doo heads.
You doo-doo head. You freaking phony.